Morning, everyone. Just as always, just give it a couple of minutes. Hope you all hear me. Hope you all see the charts. If you hear me and you can't see the charts, just let me know, and then I'll try and fix it this side. Okay, morning guys. Just up fast and get started. Just come up with a morning trade idea. Sell the US dollar Swiss franc. Clearly the dollar's fairly weak. It had a little bit of a move up yesterday, and then it came off again, as more or less I was mentioning yesterday. Dollar's a little bit weak at the moment. So that was where I got the idea of selling the dollar Swiss franc. I got it down as 92.08 as the entry. Yeah, it just hadn't been able to take out the 10-day moving average, the magenta line. Not a lot of follow through, but unfortunately, that's the name of the game for the moment. I've mentioned it like it just about all the time now. A lot of indecision out there, but you do get movement, and I think it's not just technical sell zone. I think the dollar's overall fairly weak. Some expect a bit more of a pullback. To make it worthwhile, the TP's down there. Whether it gets there or not, we shall see. But even it gets down here, and you made 60 pips. At least it's a blue color and not a red for a pleasant change at the moment. Yeah, so where were we? So that's basically the sell on that, 92.08. You should have all got the signal. I don't know if anyone here did not get the signal. That's a point, Anna Marie. Did you get your signal sent to your mailbox this time? To your WhatsApp? I think we fixed that glitch. I think it's actually my fault. I think I put a 3 instead of a 2 on the end the number of your WhatsApp. So you should have got it this time. Yes, true. That's a good point. Just tell me if you got it all right, because they fixed it. Great stuff. Yeah. Yeah, because I went back to the office and said, hang on a minute, and Bruce already did, and then hang on a minute. The last digit was a 3, and it should have been a 2, if I remember rightly. It's been fixed now, so sorted. Luckily, come to trade room, we have contacts, so we get it sorted out pretty quickly. So I'm happy about that. It's good. Right. Yeah, before we go on to that, just if anyone not received it, anyone done it there, it seems to be coming right. But at the moment, see what happens. But yeah, that was a sell at 92.08. You should have got the params in your mailbox. So you want to take it, there you are. Okay, we'll start off with NZDCHF. It's holding on for life, this one. 0.6608 was the stop loss. And WhatsApp somebody should have moved the stop loss. It's tempting, especially in the early days of trading. Don't take the loss. It must be right, so move it away. But then all your calculations are gone. And you're going to take the loss. You've got to accept. If you're going to trade, you can take losses. So I don't suggest you move the stop away. It's flirting with it. It's got about 3, 4, 5 pips away from the SL and still hanging on in there. So let's see if 0.66 can hold, and then it might turn out to be okay. But clearly, it's a red at the moment. Okay, gold. That's something that is definitely a blue. That's definitely a blue. 1920. Hey, fine. You're with us, aren't you? Yeah, fine. Yeah. Yeah, remember we said pull back to 1920. We both agreed on it. Signal went out at 1920 pullback. Give a bit of a jip, a few bucks below, but that's trading, you know. I mean, that's the way it is. Ups and downs, the noise, and then people came back. And as I said in the snippet, buy the pullbacks that go on the gold, and I expect a bit of a bump upwards on the NAS. But I was a bit reluctant to say sell the upward movement. I think rather, buy the upward movement, rather sell the rally, which is bearing on out. Yeah, well, actually, Brent's worth having a look at, but I'm still a bit scared on it. But at least that's doing okay. Now, needless to say, the next thing is what about moving stop losses to protect? Well, clearly that's the name of the game. So if you guys are in, you took the gold trade, which I hope most of you did. I think I know quite a lot of it because I've checked the positions on the MT5 admin side, which I have access to, and there's a heck of a lot. I didn't go all the names, I just saw a hell of a lot of people in gold, some even shorting it. That's the strategy which worries me when they short it because they think it's high. It's in their own mind it's high. It could go high, you know what I mean? But it's been correct by the rally, by the retracement, and it seems to be working out. So we're 20 odd bucks in profit at the moment. Clearly, we don't want to make a loss on this trade, so maybe we can make it 1925. Then you build it. That's up to you. If you don't want to, and leave it as and try and get to 1950. It's up to you. But I suggest you move to 1925, and then you're going to make a couple of bucks, whatever happens, and see if we can get to the target. It's broken through. I thought it might not break through, to be fair. I can't go back what it was recorded. I said yesterday, it might pull back from 35. It's my only little bit of worry. It hasn't. It seems to have gone through. So hopefully, if this holds, we'll reach our TP at 1950. And that's nice to know. Not taking a profit is because you're stopped out in a profit, actually hitting the TP. And that's when it's a nice one. Okay, so we've had gold before, hit the TP, pull back. Hopefully, we'll do similar to that. But whatever happens, don't make this a losing trade. Okay, so 1925, suggest you do that. Okay. All good with that? Okay, right. AUDUSD, a couple of people asked me that today. I'm sitting on the sidelines. If you want to sell this, it means you're buying the dollar. Always remember, if you sell one, you're buying the other one. So is there any indication, any movement up on the DXY? I'm just going to copy and print as per usual. Most of you got it, I'll do it anyway to have it handy. There doesn't seem to be any fundamentals coming out today, which is quite good. We know about the New Year holiday in China for the whole week. So not much to worry too much on the economic side, but I'll give it to you anyway, just to make sure you've all got it. It doesn't take 2 seconds and hold everyone up too long, because it's so vital to have it. If you trade blind, it's not going to help. Need to know these sort of things. Okay, yeah. So right. Now I wouldn't be selling it yet. I quite agree. It's reaching a bit of exhaustion here. But if the dollar continues downwards, why would the Aussie suddenly come off? So I wouldn't trade it yet. I'm looking for when it's going to get a bit of dollar strength coming in, or is overcooked from the Aussie perspective, and then for maybe a bit of a pullback, a reasonable pullback. Then we can look to maybe enter for a trade. For the moment, I'd sit on the sidelines. That's my thought. That's what I like about you, Pete. You come up with stuff like that. That's what I like to hear. As long as it's true, it's not here for the sake of it. Sometimes we use positive thinking, hope, rather than actual fact. But want to be realistic. But that's good news. Good stuff. That's what I like to hear. Hope it continues. Good stuff. But yeah, so AUD USD, I'm not so sure. The dollar Swiss franc. Remember, I sold the dollar on. I suggested you sell the dollar on that one. So if you go and sell this one, you're buying the dollar. I know the dollar's ready to be bought just yet. I look at my other screen there. I'm on the right one. Yep, I still see red on the screen. It's still coming off 101.79. So yeah, I wouldn't be chasing upwards here, but I certainly wouldn't be getting in as a sell now. NZD, oh, if the DX strengthens, maybe, yeah, if it strengthens, but we see it's not happening at the moment. And every time it pops up, the sellers come in. It's definitely fairly bearish at the moment. No, because if the yields continue up and the dollar weakens, we could hit 12,000. I think leave the NAS for a moment. I think the NAS could get to 12,000 and then come off. You say, well, let's go and do it then. Well, it's only, what is the NAS? It's only 100 pips away, or 120, 150 away. Yeah, it's only 140 pips away from the 12,000 figure. You need a 200 pip stop because of the noise. You won't get a risk reward. You can't put a 70 pip stop in the NAS, you get knocked out. That's correct. We never got the signal. Yeah, it's my signal. I explain how it works. Put the signal together. I posted on one of the company. That's called the trading support group. You're not a member. We are. You are. And then they will take it from there, put all the bits and pieces together, you know, like the banner and the admin stuff, and they'll post it out to you. Correct. That's why I just mentioned it just now. So you've got that signal. It comes from me. So after I like it all right, bit of it, well, clearly I do. I wouldn't have posted it. The signals that posted you come from me, bottom line. So say what I like about, yeah. If you say, well, it's moved against me, not if it's gone down too much, should I chase it at this level? That's another story. Or it's a bit higher. Do you think I should wait a bit higher or whatever? Yeah, sure, I can ask. But to ask my opinion on it, well, clearly I say, well, hang on, guys. Need to put some signals out to get the guys trading. Between you and me, don't tell anybody. It's a load of old baloney. No, that's not the case. No, they I put it out for a reason. If they go wrong, I'm sorry, but I don't do it on purpose for it to go wrong. Sorry to give an analogy again. Sachin Tendulkar, you probably all heard of him, the brilliant, famous Indian guru. He married a surgeon, not so a dentist. Sorry, a dentist. Don't really follow cricket much. You could hear it. He got out for naught. He got out for naught, you know what I mean? And says, why do you do that to him in his interview? He said, well, I didn't want to get out for naught. That wasn't my intention. So it's not my intention to get a signal that goes wrong. I mean, you do what's best for the market. Does what the market does. Just bear that in mind. So, you know, send me a WhatsApp, a screenshot of your WhatsApp showing red. Well, I'm sorry. I'm trying to be a bit of empathy, etc. But not a lot I can do about it. So I don't send it out so you to suffer. Say it out to get blue, but it happens, and that's the thing. So just bear that in mind. I do not send a baloney one out. At the time, it looked a good idea, and sometimes it goes against. I think this now is a bit too quick to sell it. It might come flying off, and you miss out on it. Well, I can only work on the information now. I can't see. I'm not inside information or access to, unfortunately. But yeah, so I agree it's overcooked. Well, it's not overcooked. Should we say it's looking a little bit exhaustion area, but it could easily go higher if that dollar tends to weaken. So I want to chase it upwards, leave it alone. Okay, that's my opinion anyway. If you disagree, that's fine. Right, NASDAQ for sell. Leave it, I mentioned that. Just want to mention NZDCHF. Yeah, you're knocked out. Shouldn't be knocked out of it. Should still be in it. You should absolutely. I do. You should still be in it. How are you knocked out on that? It was not 0.6008. It didn't get there. You should still be in it. But I see downside. Yeah, I'm stick with that. Let me start adjusting your stops in case it gets there. You know, that's just increasing your risk. But I do. I like it. Yeah. Yeah, I do. Yes, quite frankly, I know it's just the buy area. Technically speaking, it's a buy now, where before it was a sell because we sold it here, remember? Now it's popped in here. It looks like a buy area. So I'm not sure I go into it again. I'm just keeping the fingers crossed it'll come off. And if it starts coming off and attacking here, we might get some more downside to take it through. But yeah, it seems to be holding these levels here. Hopefully it'll come off. I'm not sure I'll be a re-entry again. What is going on here? I just lost my internet for some reason. You guys lost it on the charts. Don't know what's happening there. It's going to knock it off and try and go in again. Excuse me. Business. Good. Okay. Right. Where was I? Yeah. Yeah. But I think if you're going to stay in, but what is going on? I wouldn't be chasing it now. No. Sorry about that racket, but you know what it's for. But no, I wouldn't be chasing it now. No. It needs to break back there. But technically speaking, that's what I say. Yeah. Technical damage being done. It's going to the buy area. Will that be sustained upwards? Who knows? So stick with the trade. Don't get cute and shorting it down again. Now it's done the technical damage. It's up to you about it. I'd stay on the side. No, that's what I thought. So thanks for that. Didn't go to stop loss. You should still be in. But yeah, NZCH. Thank you for that. Yeah, you're still. That's good. So just let it ride and keep your fingers crossed. It's come off a couple. I know it's in the red, big time in the red, but it was a good what 50 pips in the sodding red. But we know that's clear. But we hope it the whole come back off again. But I'm not sure I'm chasing it now. I'll be honest, though, I have to say I do see still downside, even though the technical damage is done. What is the Swiss franc so weak for up here against the Kiwis? Let's try another Kiwi. If the Kiwi's not exactly shooting the lights out, the Kiwi's shooting the lights out, then I'd understand it's not. So I think that's just traders' noise, basically, and I do see the downside. So, Gerard, you got to mind your own. If you say, I hear what Roger's saying, he's got to be prudent, he's the host. But I hear what he's saying, but I sort of technical and I see downside what I do. Make sure you get your risk order, okay? Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm afraid to say if you're trading, fear is going to be a constant companion because it does go up and down. That's a problem. Okay. Okay, where are we? Yeah, well, it's up to you. I've had to say what I've had to say, but put it this way: if you had a gun against me, I'd have to make a choice. Buy zone or not, I actually think it's going to come off of it. Yeah, we'll see anyway. Yeah, that was a week or two ago. A lot of these things discounted pretty quickly into the market. Well, even 2 or 3 days is a bit. That was over a week ago.
Yes, I know that it's load shedding. I know that. Okay, sir. Then thank you very much for calling CP Park.
So I'd set a mutual because I think we're all aware we'll suffer from load shedding. Stop. That's a stop loss. Yeah, that was the original one. Yeah, which you haven't hit. I got a bit worried. No, for a fact, because I got worried. I didn't check this morning. I woke up and it was still in there. Okay. Sorry to be a bit pedantic, but to make sure we're on the same page. Often people get the wrong end of the stick, and then it's, you know, you got to get on the same page. I don't know how to put it. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Yeah. Anything happening here? A little bit of profit, not much. Okay. Brent. I wanted to mention Brent earlier on. What's got still going on? That's coming off. Anyway, you're protected. We might have another batch. The dollar's still coming off. It might hit TP. So make sure it's 19.05 on the gold, so you can't lose in the trade. You're protected. Yeah, you get my point. So yeah, so you get the TP out of that. Right, Brent technically is a buy, but I'm a little bit worried about it. Technically is a buy. Are we going to see $97 again? And I'm not so sure about that. If you even it gets to 90, you're not going to risk reward. But technically speaking, that's a buy. But look at the decision yesterday and today. But it's interesting, it has taken it out. So even though it's technically a buy, I personally am a bit scared to go for it. And I certainly wouldn't sell it in that zone. I'm a little bit nervous to buy it. I just want to point that out, that technically that could be a possible buy. I'm scared, so I think I'm going to sell the fence. Okay, I keep mentioning to guys there before, new guys, I'm not sure we're going to be comfortable tolerating the world consumers another $95, $97 kind of $100 a barrel sort of thing. Plus, if you have no choice, if there's no more access to oil, but they can increase the oil supply. And if you have that, and if you can do that, remember the Keystone Pipeline in the US, they have access if they want to do it. And I know it's all about the green, but not when you're sort of kind of fight by food. Getting green takes a second back step. So yeah, I think just can't see getting 100 a month. Well, if it does, we'll go very long, and it'll have a phenomenal short sell potential there. So I'm a little bit nervous to buy that, and it's not getting follow through. But just wanted to have a look at that, keep an eye on it. Okay. Yeah, it opens up a bit. It will do, but again, they can obviously, if the price gets too high, they can increase the supply. Simple as that. You remember, it doesn't cost that much for Saudi to produce more oil. So they're not saying I've got to have 100 or I can't pay my bills. Their production costs are low, and they're awash with cash. So they can play. They don't want to screw up the nice golden goose, which is the West. So they will probably step in and sort of increase supply to bring it down a bit. Even the OPEC guys don't agree. Well, it's up to them. They're big enough to do that. I don't think I missed a trade with query. I think I've covered them all for the moment. Very iffy. I just find it quite difficult. I look at a couple I looked at this morning, trying to get some sort of confirmation. This is one of them. AUD CHF, something I was looking at, I think it was yesterday. Again, thought it was a possibility it might get some downside, but not really getting the follow through. AUD Kia, if we don't want to sell the AUD CHF, I'm not sure we sell the AUD CAD, so left that one out. We mentioned AUD NZD. That's the trade we got out. I don't know if any guys are still in it. It's back. It was in profit all the time. Kept pulling up and down, up and down, up and down, all in profit to be fair. Now it's popped up again. Any guys still in this trade? GBP, JPY. You want to just put down where you want to sell or buy it, Vio. Yeah, I still think you're still in the FTSE. I think it'll come right. I think it's going to probably go up a little bit more before it comes off. I'm not sure the NAS 12,000 is going to take it out before it comes off. It's only 100 pips away. So bottom line is, I think it might hover around, might go up a little bit more, but I think it's going to pull back. Oh, you want to sell it? Okay. Right, AUD NZD, AUD JPY. What do you want to do? To sell it again. You're a CAD for a buy. Did you? Okay. For that if you want. So nobody's still in the AUD NZD because it's doing quite well at the moment. So I'll move on. Where are we? GBP JPY. Are we agreed on Brent? Leave it alone. If anyone wants to do something, tell me. No, to be honest, I wouldn't be selling this now, no. Did everyone see why? I don't want to spell it out because it should all be seeing now why. Anyone, any thoughts on selling this one? And if you do, obviously the whole idea of learning is to interact and give reasons for it. So if you do want to sell it, what are your reasons for that? Okay, whoever asked the question, I hear silence. We need to move on. Time is consuming. On this one. I can't remember who asked it now. GBPJPY. Was it you? There, yeah, I mean, it looks like a sell if it's in the sell zone. I agree, but my worry is it going to break through that resistance? If it does, I would agree, but at the moment I would hold back. That's my thinking. Okay, Talani. I think you're preempting it there, to be honest. Let's have a look at the weekly. 4 hourly. 4 hourly is good. I'm tending to go, don't get me wrong, I'm going along with it. What I'm trying to do is get people to interact and give reasons for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to teach you how to fish, not rely on someone else to fish for you, as the old parable said. So, in other words, you'd wait, would you, Mark? Would you go in now, or would you wait before you sell that? Assume we're agreed on the sell. Okay. Well, it's clearly below that, so I'm quite happy with the sell. It's just this line here. Look at this. Let's look at the weekly. Might get a bit more clarity there. So, what do you think we should do? Should we wait for a confirmed break or go in now? That's my opinion, Mark. Yeah. What do you think, Sibandili? If you're in a sell, I'd rather be short than longs. Oh, GBP. Yeah, what would you be? Yeah, I'd rather be short than long at the moment. So, yeah, I'm talking about entry. So, if you're already there, fair enough. But look, it tried to take up 161. It popped up, you know, the famous psychological round figure. Okay, we wait. Okay. All right. Okay, fair enough. Okay, the AUD JPY was another one. Used to be buying that one stage, remember? Now there's much selling. Things have changed. Now you got that down to sell. Long might be a buy. You see, Aussie's strengthened up a little bit. Japanese things might weaken a bit. I'm not sure now I'd be selling it here, but I'm not sure that comes to buy it. But I'm leaning towards it might be a likely bounce here. I'm not overly out of the woods yet as regards Japanese weakness, to be fair, but I think it's going to come about. Fundamental and government requirements, as mentioned. So in theory, that should really technically be a buy, but rather than a sell. So I'm leaning, actually, to be honest, maybe get a bit upside. Let's look at the other charts. Yeah, now that's the problem. Your week is holding. That's making it look more like a sell. The daily looks like a buy. The 4 hour looks like a bit of a hold on to breakthrough, but looks like it might come off a bit. But still, it's in the buy zone on the 4 hour. And we've had a lot of momentum. This could be a profit-taking pullback. This, in theory, could be a bit of a buy. But do I want to go in now? No. The major reason I want to go in now is I'm worried about that weekly. The weekly is conflicting signals. Weekly looks like it might hold there. It's only, what, 70 pips away, and it's held and held and held and held. We could pull back a bit. But on the daily, it looks like that's holding to go up. So, you know, flick the coin and take your choice. Yeah, I think you might have been a bit preemptive on that one, but you'd come right and have a smile on your face. Ah, yeah, it's one of my favorites, but might not make friends with Marius on that one, because I think you're short on that one. But I'm looking for a buy on that one. But before we do that, let's just do the ADJPY. Daily and the 4 hour looking maybe upside. Weekly, I'm looking for a bit of downside. So I might just hang 5 until I'm a bit more comfortable. So I personally, I'm going to suggest leaving this one alone. Ah, so you're thinking maybe Agoma, Warren. Warren, pronounce that. Warren, yeah. So you're looking by buying a buy stop in at higher rate, am I right? Yep. So you're actually you're agreeing on the buy. So you're looking for a possible upside in this. I tend to agree, but yeah. You can put a buy stop in if you like, but round about that area there, I'm happy with that. Maybe 92, something like that. I'm happy with that to take it up. But at this stage of the game, I'm looking to buy it. Maybe 1 hour. Any sign of any buyers coming in? Not yet. So leave it alone. We'll have a look later on. It's a possibility. A little note there, keep an eye on possibility. Okay, I think it's got more possibility than the GBP, to be honest. Okay, happy with that. Good enough. Okay, I'll put that down. The US 30, not to confuse everybody else, that's the Dow. The guy says US 30, he's probably got an account somewhere else. Because MetaTrader 4, I know it's used as US 30. So I think you've probably got an account somewhere else. But anyway, Euro CAD, we want to look at to start with in order. Culture, eh? It's like going to Spa with a Woolworths shopping bag, eh? Or worse, vice versa. Oh, I'm sure what I want to do with this. What do you guys? You want to buy it? Yeah, Kane's a bit weak at the moment. It's side along with the America one was a bit weak, so I can see your points clear in the strong zone. Euro still going, and she spoke again last night. It was much the same, so don't worry about that too much. Sticking with a slightly hawkish stance. So yeah, the pull back to buy the euro. Not such a bad idea. Is it any follow through? What we got here? 60 pips follow through. If you want to trade that range, maybe a 30 pip start and take the top of the range. We won't be sending it out, but there you are. It's a bit of a short-term aggressive trade if you want to do it. 30 pip stop, 60 pip TP if anyone wants to do it. Is it? Well, there weren't any today. Maybe we'll look at the wrong date. So look, Tuesday. Oh, yes, there are. Beg your pardon. There are. Germans coming out. Composite PMIs coming out on GBP. Manufacturing GBP. Services on GBP. She's doing a story again. Well, she's talking a lot. 11:45. President Lagarde speaking again. And NZD CPA later on at midnight. Don't worry about that. You'll be asleep there. Okay. So, yeah, there's a couple of things coming out there. So, yeah. German rather, it's a part of Europe, it's not the European, it's German CPI, PMI, sorry, which is okay, it's not massive, so wouldn't panic too much, come up as 10, good point. Okay, so where were we? Yeah, that's highly aggressive one if you want to maybe a 30 pip stop, 60 pip TP, otherwise I'd be leaving it. Okay. No comments. CHFJPY. I can get it. I want to buy this, but I'm not sure I want to buy it yet. Yeah, I want to buy this. I don't want to sell it. Some people do well by doing just that, selling it. I'm not doing either at the moment. I'm going to buy it if I can get a pullback, maybe the 10-day moving average, somewhere around there, or if you can break through the 200. But I'm not going to sell these levels, but I'm not going to buy it either at the moment. But there's a bit of support there, but not a lot. Very tiny. I'm going to sit this one out. I'll buy a pullback or a breakthrough. Otherwise, but I'm not going to sell it. Yeah, Morris, I checked it out. Yes, you're doing well. Well done. That took a lot of courage and well done. And it's popped up. It's still coming down. So I'm going to wait for pullback or a buy above it. And you're doing okay. So enjoy the run. Still seem to be coming off with good speed. Okay. Well, move on. Any comments on that? Come back to it. Need to interact? You got any comments? Leave it alone. Okay. I know what you mean. LIL. You mean LIA. I get that. Okay. CAD JPY. I think this could be some more downside now, but I think it's a bit weak, the Canadian, but I think the Japanese strength is going to start slowing down. At the moment, I think that can pull back, but I'm not going to advise a trade in it. Anything it might. I'd personally rather buy the pullbacks rather than sell it down, and I'm not going to buy it yet. I'm going to buy the pullbacks. That's simple as that. No more. Can't really offer any more than that. Yeah, you might get a bit further downside, Morris. Good chance you might come back here, around about these levels here. Another 65 pips, but I probably have a bit of a bounce there. I might buy it there actually. We'll see. I need a confirmation. I'm a bit wary of this one. Used to be a pretty easy trade one stage. In the good old days, the Canadian was strong, the yen was weak, but now they're both a bit iffy. I think you Canadian's going to weaken a bit before it strengthens. The Japanese going to hover a bit before it weakens. So I'm not keeping on it. Certainly, if it pulls back to that level I just gave you there, where's this level now? 96.80 mark. I might look at a buy then, but not at the moment. Okay. But for the short, looks like a pullback, so that's fine. But I'm not joining for a short. Can't really see more on that. Yeah. So, anyone agree, disagree? What do you want to do about CAD JPY? Okay. Welcome, Elroy. Good to have you. Elton, of course. Dr. Sabui, good to, a few new guys. Okay. All right. Yeah, as you know, you just probably joined the first time. Any strategy you want, we talk about DXY, anything like that, just ask you. This is a forum, you've got to interact. Listening is not going to do it. You've got to ask questions. Because if you don't understand, or I'm talking about something you'd like to know more about, please let me know. You can unmute as well. Sorry, that reminds me. I'll mute you guys because we have some interference beforehand. Ask, do anything. You've got to interact. And this we talk about a lot in the office. Is one of the 90, well, not 90, that's ridiculous, but one of the major problems is in all the classes, there's just not enough interaction. So we come out, we don't know if people are getting it, understanding it, or learning from it, because when we ask them to interact, they don't. A bit shyness or just don't want to, or I don't know what it is, but it's very, very, very important that if you're not sure about something, to clarify it, you need to voice it on the chat line or there, so I can answer it. It's not, you're not a computer, you don't just sit there and it will be downloaded. I've been to classes, so I know you've got to interact. And this is a forum, even more than the other classes, because I know for a fact there, a lot of guys go to classes. The guy on the platform trade helped me place a trade. But if you don't know how to place a trade, then you didn't, what's the point of platform trading? You've got to, yeah. And that's what happens. You get people like Ken and Fanny and that interact, and they get looked after, and the others get left out. But these are because they're not. So if they're happy, that's fine. But if you don't know, and they keep going on about this line, you don't know, well, ask. Say, what is that? It doesn't take 2 seconds to explain, but I can't read your mind. And it's important, because then I can't help you if you're on the wrong page. You might be driving very well, but you're going to the wrong destination, sort of thing. How's it, HP? I'm not looking for a short now. No, I'll repeat that again. Buy the pullbacks to the magenta line or buy the breakout. Shorting it now, I'm not keen. That is my take on it. Doesn't mean no, we're going to short now. Because I know some guys completely get wrong with the stick and they're going and doing a trade and it's gone and they blame us. Well, no, you've got the wrong with the stick. So I repeat again, I'm looking to buy it here or a break above. Or if it breaks down again, I might consider selling, see what happens then. At the moment, I'm not going to do anything. I'm leaving it. Okay. All right, thank you. The only indicators I use, that's me, my personal choice. Again, there's no right or wrong in this business. There's millions of people with different views. Are you a DANC? Are you a Republican, a Democrat? Are you Christian or a bloody Muslim? It doesn't matter. Everyone's got different opinions. So this is all about opinions. I use these, and that's the 100-day simple moving average on the day chart. Okay, it's a weekly chart, it's 100 weeks. It's times the actual candle. So it's 100 times the candle, 200 times the candle, 50 times the candle, and 10 times the candle. Those are 4 moving averages I use. And when you put them in, little simple moving average, and then you go to right click, you go to the templates, okay, right click in on the screen, templates, save the template, and then, you know, if you do lose your screen or wherever you got it saved, you don't have a problem. Well, you can scalp it if you like. Well, I wouldn't, I just don't. It's up to you. If you want to scalp it, you can. But people say, can you do this? You can do what you like, as long as you've got the money for it, and it can, you know, and you understand the cost and what's involved. Yeah, sure, no problem.
Absolutely.
The zigzag is an indicator, but I look more the ABC. But I'm not going to scalp it at all. I'm going to leave it alone. Okay, you got all that, and don't forget to save it, guys. Please save it. You can see it's below all these major. This is a small one. I'm talking about the bigger boys here. The longer term moving averages, it's below, so it's fairly weak. Okay, so sell it like Amaris did. Sell it around about there. I'm not trying to chase it. If you do chase it here, you put your stop up here, about 65 to 70 pips away for a potential profit of about 65, 70 pips, 1-to-1. If you're happy with that kind of risk reward, sell it down. But I try and say, look at least 1.5. But that's up to you. A lot of guys do 1-to-1. I'm not saying that's wrong. Because unfortunately, it's the most difficult thing when you start this is to get to understanding this is art and opinions and variables. It's not right or wrong. That's just an opinion. And okay, you've got, you know, Jordan doing it 50 years, Mary doing it for 20 years, and Bill doing it for 10 minutes. Don't care. All right, mine's got more experience, obviously, but still, it's still an opinion. If you ask me now, do I think it's going to go up there or down there? My answer is I haven't got a cooking clue. Nobody does. We take an overall view and hope for the best. Or so you got 3 trades, only 4-1. Which is the better one? I think they're all good. I wouldn't have posted them. I thought one was lousy and 2 are good. Between you and me, I'm telling you what, top secret to me. The other 2 are rubbish. So go with that one. No, so I think all good. Now I don't know which is going to pan out, which one's going to lose. They might all pan out. They might all lose. I don't know. Nobody does, and this is what we must understand. There's millions of people with different variables, and we take an overall view. And some don't get a bad run, some get a great run. But I've looked since 1st of November to today, and we're ahead of the game. So there's more winners and losers, and that's what we're looking at. Why do some people goes wrong? Because they take the profit too early, or they modify the stop loss and the loser. So in the end, they turn winners into losers, or they don't trade the right way, or put in a sell and should have been a buy, put in too big and too small on the winner. So they had 1 micro on the winner and 5 micros on the loser. And you get the idea. So that's just the lack of trading principles rather than the actual. But the actual trade sent out since the beginning of November, I went through over the weekend, and it's about a 70-odd% hit rate. It's not so bad. Yeah. And the most difficult thing is you've got to accept the fact you can take a loss. And a lot of people either operate with an SL or they move it away because they can't take the loss. And they're risking 200, now it's 300, now it's 400, now they're in the duang. And then even some just as bad. They're in the loss, holding on to it, then he gets a profit, and immediately get a blue, bang. Watch it sail on. So they've hanged on to 2 grand losses, taking 50 rand profits. I cannot overstate that the majority of this game, even whether you're clever or not clever or brilliant or not brilliant, I don't care, is a cycle of life.
Fi wat puntig snacks mali. Iyan rong matuki ingog haya kristan.
I'm afraid don't listen to
Kaya
advice.
ka baka vad mami pako.
No, I don't think you're right. Don't listen to advice. I think you're completely wrong. Did you hear what she just said? And I completely disagree. No, I'm just kidding. So I'm just mute you. People, I keep saying you're a waste of a breath. Mute you, and then unmute you just now. Okay, yeah, that's it. Mark, I'll be honest with you. Can I just pick you up on that? You're quite right, Mark. It is not as you personally, but you do. I know it's emotions, and we all do. I don't care if you do it 20 years. Emotions are part of what you are, and it's going to happen. It just you get more understanding of those emotions with practice and experience, but it's still going to be there. And that I would say, incorrect position sizing and emotions. Those are 2 biggest reasons why people, for all the courses in the world, still struggle. That's why most people screw it up. It's because they don't understand the emotional side of the concept of it. And controlling it, I'm not sure is the right word. Controlling it is difficult, but understanding it for what it is and getting the disciplined volume size. They're either overexposed on one. They're in 3 positions. One's right volume, the other one's overexposed, the other one's under. If you want to risk 500, make it on all of them. Not 300 on one and 700 another and 200 another. Well, I just had a bad run, so I'll go in a tiny position. Have a good run, so I'll overexpose. No, if you lost the last 3 trades, you stick to whatever the risk is. It says 500 rand. If you won the last 3 trades, stick to 500. When will you change it to a different number? Well, if your capital is suddenly gone up by so much, then you can risk 600 and 700. Stick with it. If it's gone down, maybe risk 300. But you've got to not have different volumes. Not volumes, because the volume depending on where the risk per micro is, but stick with the number. Doesn't matter what leverage, what it is. If you're risking 500, and on gold it says 0.11 mini, now it says 0.01, so be it. But it's not 0.1 for all or 0.01 for all. And people tend to do that. Again, without doubt, the biggest incorrect position size and emotions. Those are the biggest. I don't care if you read more books, go through all that again. That's the part that usually creates some major problems. I would agree on that, Mark. Hey. Yeah, simple as that. If you look back, Mark, if you're trading, most of it is probably good emotion. And I can tell it's not you alone. Myself, everybody. It is without doubt the problem. That's why equities and house owning is not so bad. You forget about it. You get in the house, you live in it, you forget about it. But if it's in your face, your house price, every time it went up or down a rand or 2, you'd be fixated on the damn thing. And that's because it's transparency, it's the problem. It's incredibly difficult. Incredibly difficult. So I'm completely empathetic on that. I'm standing around there. I mean, some people are so disciplined. I mean, they're like you get one sports star who just dominates, you know, that sort of thing. But there's 1 in 100 million, you know what I mean? It is difficult. Anyway, so nothing else you learn from that. You've got to somehow get that under control. The discipline required of the correct position sizing and understand those emotions. If you're not getting the grasp of those 2 concepts, it's going to be a continual battle. And I often think the feedback I get after statements made, not just from me, but other people, they're not grasping the actual concept behind all of it. You can't get the rest is number crunch. You've got to get the concept. And if you're not sure, get clarification. Yeah, Anne-Marie, I'm afraid that's quite normal. But again, I'm going to be fair on this, Anne-Marie and others. Sometimes you often make, not you, but we all do, make that kick yourself afterwards in retrospect. I've held on a couple of times from just what you're saying there, getting up too quick, and then it comes off. I'm talking about a long now, for example. And I wished I had got out too damn soon. You see what I mean? There's no holy grail of the correct pill to be taken. But you have to have an overall saying, rather trying on, I've said a couple of times here, hang on a bit, let's try and squeeze a decent profit out of that. And the thing suddenly comes back on you. You know what I mean? So there's no hard and fast rule, but just take profit too quickly, not giving the trade a chance is unfortunately quite common. I mean, AUDNZD is the long-term one. There should be quite a few people still in it. It looks like nobody is. So all take the profit. It might still, you're still in the profit, unless you're stopped out after modification. But some guys just can't handle stress anymore and just take it. It depends how you handle it. It's difficult to say it really, because there's no hard and fast rule. Everyone's looking at hard and fast rule. There isn't one. I always use the 10-day and the Bollinger Band. Well, I'm happy for you. It's not wrong. I don't, but that's me. You're always going to make boo-boos, I'm afraid, Fiona. Always, always, always. It's gonna happen, however good you are. But this is the thing, is after a while, it starts to sort of like changing gear, fall into place. You always have a bit of motion, but it becomes less and less, etc. My main worry is if people make a mistake on the trade I've sent out, and I feel bad about it. I'm not worried about myself. I'm okay now. I'm sort of almost got the idea. Well, I've never really got the idea, but more now than previously, put it that way. But yeah, and some say, should I read more books? Don't read more books. Come to trading room and get that concept, correct position sizing and understand the emotions. Try to give the trade a chance. I know it's giving you hell because you're up in the blue, now in the red. We're still in a good one's the NZD one. Where's it now? That's coming off a bit now. So that where did it go to? It gave them 6 pips, call it 5 pips of the actual SL. Should I move the stop away, all panic, etc. Now it's come. Will it continue to go down? Well, I can say I hope so. I don't know. I hope it does. But that's a classic example. So leave it, let it run. Okay. Gold. Here's another good example. That's in a profit. So we'll go to the blue one now. Is it going to get to TP? A lot of people lose their nerve. 1940, doing so nice, they lose their nerve, they take it out. And it comes down to, let's say, 1936, panic. They were at 19, they modified their stop to 1925. Hey, I'm taking it. Done that myself, not so much now, but I have in the past many times. I think I've done myself, trust me. And then it just a little bit of a momentary profit taking, pull back of a couple of bucks that goes on. Now you're not on board anymore. We're so quick to get out of winners and incredibly lucky to get out of losers. And that's, in a nutshell, I think, yeah, all that waffling, in a nutshell, that's why most people lose. They're so quick to get off the winning train and hold on to the losing train. You know what I'm saying? Good for you, Fiona. There you are. Oh, has it changed trend? It's gone out and it's gone. Is it going to bear trend now? What? It's come off a little bit. Does that candle say we're going to bear trend after that? No. No. One way to do it is not just practice. Have position sizing, which you can financially, mentally handle. Then you can look at it objectively. But you got too big in, and it starts running away. You can't think. I've been there. Trust me, it's natural. Non-familiar. I'm sorry to say, it's quite normal. Life is tough. It's the wrong way around. Failure should be that path to happiness. Winning should not, because you have one. Let's say there's 50 in the race. You got one winner, so then by definition you've got 49 losers. It's the wrong way around. So if you win, actually, you're a right bloody idiot. Oh, you fail. That's a great one, because more people fail than win. You got it wrong way around, actually, to think about it. Yeah, it's difficult. Thank you, Anne-Marie. It is tough. So if you watch the tennis, Novak now, Djokovic was the favourite. You have no idea what that guy has to go through to get there. That's why he's special. Or I don't like him, or I do like him, or whatever. No, I don't like him, I'm not going to do it. Enormous amount to try to go through. Murray the other day, 5 hours on half or 5:45 on court, 4 o'clock in the morning, still got to do interviews, try and get some sleep. You know, when you're so fired up. To be a winner, it's not easy. That's why I admire these bloody guys, because it's just incredible. It's tough, very, very tough. Yeah, we've been doing for a while. All the stuff I didn't have under hold my hand like you have here. So for quite a little time, I did no mistakes to make. Nobody knew. Or it gave me fob offs or be positive, which the fob off didn't mean anything. crystal empathetic sort of understanding and you know, just doing the same thing. And it's just come back now. I could have been a lot better 10 years ago instead of waiting a lot later. It's because those basic psychological areas, and that's why it's so important. And for goodness sake, get rid of this something for nothing attitude, which seems to be so prevalent around the world. I want something for nothing. That is not going to work. You've got to give to get. We think it's common sense, but we've got very little to give. So all you want is to get something. But if you're offering very little, you get little in return. It's just the way it is. Okay. Do you know what algorithms you use? Do you use these two, or shall I use those two? Don't really use it this much, in fact. But yeah, it's looking from where I'm reading that at the moment. It's bottomed out on the MACD, so it's looking like the MACD is saying to me, as an oscillator, it's bottoming out. And look at the last couple of bars there. It's looking like we could start to move up according to that. But that's just telling us what the price action is doing, because we've got a bit of a pullback still, because the dollar's still fairly weak. So I'm not going to sell it at the moment, but I do see some downside here. Yeah, I'm going to wait for the moment on that. But yeah, okay. Well, you can change it. You can change the 12 to a 15, or you can change that to an 8. You can change it. You can change that to 30 or whatever. Change the colors. You can change it. Those are called the algorithms. That is default to those. You can change it if you want. Probably know more about that thing than I do, because I don't really use it. I use candlesticks and price action, because I know this lags it, so I don't actually bother too much. Tell me what's already happened. Well, quite frankly, and also I'm looking potential likely upside. I'm looking at the DXY. I'm looking at the Japanese from that fundamental area of requirement, and I'm looking where the buyers and sells are at the moment. In a nutshell, that's what I do. Good. Basically, nutshell, what the buyers and sells do. I think if you've not too much trades, you get these concepts. Personally, this is my experience talking here. They're invaluable. As long as we're on the same page. If I'm talking gibberish, just saying, trying to reword it, someone else might put it better than me. But yeah, it's emotion is, don't underestimate the power that emotion has on trading. It's immense. That's why everyone talks about robots, because it takes that out of it. The trouble is, the robot can't think and knows nothing about fundamentals. That's the problem. And keep yourself informed, but you mean not informed on what Prince Harry gets up to with what's her name? What's her name again? No, his wife gets up to, but you know, on overall economic picture, especially United States. Merkel. What's her bloody name? Forget. I don't really follow it much. Anyway, that's all great fun, but that's not news. You know. Let's go to shares quickly. It's a bit quiet going on there. I think it's going to be a chance for sales, so we'll probably get a trade idea sent out later on. They won't send it out till later on because we've got too many guys basically calling up saying, I can't place the trade. Well, of course you can't place it. It's not open yet. But I'm looking for later on shorts on this one. see how it opens. Got to look for a short this one. It'll probably be, I've sent it through, probably posted out to you guys at about 3:30, so that give me time to have a look at it before entering. Remember, when you get a trading idea, look at it first and see if you like it, and then take it from there. Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. That's what the candle tells me. Yeah. Let's get some that's open at the moment. Let's go to the NAS. We all seem to talk about the NAS a lot. Let's make it a little bit clearer. Yeah. What's that telling me on the daily chart? Clearly the buyer's in control. What's that telling me on the chart? The 200-day moving average is the filter and an area of support resistance, and the overall trend is down. So to me, that's a sort of a rally in a bear market at the moment. And so I'm looking at the fact it's slowing down a bit here. So I look at that candle, I see a wick above, a wick below. So they're getting to indecisive mode here. This was clearly a buyer's in control, neither in control. It looks like it might be changing over to sellers might come in. I thought it might get the round figure before coming off, might slow down. So I'm looking and waiting to get the confirmation. If it gets there, comes off, sell it, stop up there, go down there. At the moment, I'm just going to wait 5. It could just momentary pull back for another batch of this guy here. Thank you, Adili. Yeah, thank you. Red means you're pissed off. That's what it means, Sir Mark. Ha, ha, ha. Blue is good. Red is bloody terrible. No, you can't say green candle's good. If you're going short, it's a bloody terrible candle. You short it down here. This is not good. This is horrible. Rather stick to blue and red, not green and red. This for a short seller is terrible news. That's correct, sir. Concentrate on the blue and the red, not the green. The green is wonderful if you're going long, but certainly if you're going short, isn't it? Okay, it's a bit quiet. I'm glad we had this chit chat and stuff because it's a bit quiet on the trading front. There's a lot of potential sitting out there to ready to be snapped up, but nothing sort of getting the entry or confirmation or not a direction I'm comfortable with. In a nutshell, from the word it's clear. Yes, none direction I'm comfortable with. I'm not overconfident A is stronger than B or vice versa, or we're going to get strong upward or strong downward. It's no particular bit in flux at the moment, a lot of it. So I try and get those understandings going and discuss it because it's so important. Don't want to read more books. Don't worry about more books on the subject. You can if you like, rather get the practical. And for goodness sake, you get the basics sorted. Remember, you've got to have the right equipment, you've got to have the knowledge, and you've got to have the capital. If you've got the capital, no knowledge, it's not going to work. If you've got the knowledge and no capital, it's no point. If you've got the capital and knowledge, you haven't got the right equipment, it's not going to work. You need the 3 of them. We try to provide ideas here, classes for the knowledge, and the equipment is up to you to get. As a matter of interest, anybody out there who's been trading for a few months or more think it's going to be effective to not have a laptop and just trade off your phone? Anybody think that's okay? Out of interest, have you found you've only been trading a phone for the last few months? You don't need a laptop. It's quite okay. Or what I'm suggesting you get George Smith staying, for argument's sake, saying, "I don't have a laptop. Is it worth investing, or can I just trade on my phone?" What do you guys think? Yeah. So yeah. I know that, but what I'm trying to get to is sort of does anybody clearly not whether I like this or I have done or blah 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 state straightforward? Anybody think you don't need a laptop, rather just use the phone? It'll work quite okay on it. You think you can just use the phone? How long have you been trading, Fiona? I'm talking about someone who's been trading for a few months or more. Okay, fair enough, Farley. Anybody, I'm still hard work this. Anybody, you've been trading 6 months and you say you don't need a laptop. Is that correct? Because I'm saying if you have, fair enough. My opinion, try and get the point is, I think it's been a little bit too limited. Maybe it's possible, but I think it's limited. I'm not saying I've got both. That belies the question. Because why on earth would I spend good money in a monitor laptop, having been done on the phone? I just think it's limiting. What I'm saying is, going back to the equipment, you need the right equipment, and I think the phone is not adequate. Well, of course, you use both, because the phone, you're out and about, you want to quickly check it. You want to go to boot the car, fire it up, assume you've got some sort of portable dongle to get on the internet and do it. Performs. Phone, if you've got to pump some data in if you're leaving the house, and then you can just quickly check to modify or check to see if a new signal just to bang in there. But I'm talking about to do all this on the phone that we do here. I think it's too limiting. Just to check your trade, yeah. Yeah, okay. So you see what I mean, guys? So those that say, I'm just using the phone, if they want to see how it's going on, yeah. But if you think you can use the phone alone, well, I think you're going to battle. If you want to make a go of this, you need the knowledge. I think you need the right equipment, which is access to a phone and the laptop, or laptop and the phone, and you need capital. I think that's a fair comment for everybody. Yeah, Isabel agrees on that. I personally think people only use the phone. I've been told by other people, don't worry about it. If you can't afford a laptop, buy my product, the phone will do fine. I think they've been sold it rather than actual, as from the person selling it, rather than actual use to them, if you like. Yeah. Okay, so get the right equipment. See the backup. Anyone new there? If you haven't got the money, you haven't got the knowledge, you haven't got the equipment, expect it's going to be how to put this diplomatic. It's going to be hard work. Leave it there. Okay. Always think of those, you know, Doctors Without Frontiers, Médecins Sans Frontières, they call it. They work in these poorer countries with limited stuff. It's much more harder than if you work in a country where you've got all the equipment, everything at hand. That's what I'm saying. No. That's a good question. I use a daily, so just to start off, in the mornings, I'll go, I'll tell you what I'll do. What I do in the morning, I'll look at that, have a quick look at it, and then I move on. So I do that on the daily. This is a possibility of a short. Let's have a look at the weekly. Yeah. Let's have a look at the 4 hour. Yeah. Let's look at the 1 hour. Yeah. Let's go back again. Yeah, it's got possibilities, but the daily is where I start off, and then I look at the others. But I start off by looking at the daily. Then it says it's looking like it's coming off. I'm looking at a sell on this one. And we got confirmation it's broken through. I'm looking at a sell on this one by coincidence. Now, what about the shorter term chart? Any problems on the 4 hour? Down here, this is a bit minor, it's only a 10-day. How far away is that? 39 pips, got a problem on the 4 hour. 80 pips a problem. We take it down to there for the TP. We've got a problem there, and a smaller problem there, and you've got to break through for the sell. I'm a little bit hesitant on the 4 hour. 1 hour, clearly the sells are coming in. 15 minutes, even so. Broken through on the 15 minutes, 100 times 15 minutes. I'm looking at that. I go back to the daily. I'm looking here, a little bit of resistance. Try the weekly again. Again, it's come off. Is it going to break up above? It's more there. We're in very much the sell zone, the weekly. It can't seem to hold on. It's broken up 40 odd pips, or just under 40 pips to the north before the sellers are coming in. It's trying to break through. Is it going to continue? Who am I doing it against? The Swiss franc. If this is a weaker currency, like say the pound or something, be more hesitant. I still think it's a strong currency. I don't think it's going to break through. So my opinion, is it going to break through? I personally think no, because it's going up against a stronger one. Overall downside, look at that distance compared to that. I think that's just a bit of a rally. So it might help our cause. put in, where should I take the top line? Take it from here. Put a fib. And we can maybe take it from up here, which is the highest point, and put in a fib. Are we getting anything there to help? Not really. Maybe we can do a slightly shorter term one. We can do there, but that's not much help either. But on the shorter term there, I can fiddle around to make proves to me what I want to say, but it's still not good enough for fib. A shorter term fib there. It seems to be holding around the 50 level. It bursts through, holding down. So I'm starting to look at that as a trade. Let's put that out of the blue, by the way. Looking at a trade. That's the way I look at it, Leo, on the daily, and then I check it on the weekly, hourly, 4 hour, whatever, to see other confirmations or obstacles. Like I say, on the 4 hour, we've got a couple of obstacles here. That's a bit of support there, a bit of resistance, shall I say, if you're going, which is a bit of an obstacle there and there. If I'm taking it down here, where do I want to put the stop? I want to put it up here. 37 is not going to cut it, so do the daily. How far away is this? Is it too far away? Too far away. Maybe make it here. Yeah, make it above the previous Fibonacci. That's about 68 pips away. We need then, I know, at least 110 or so, 110 pips. Yeah, we need to take it down there. Could that happen? I think it could. So I'm talking myself into this. I think it's a possible trade here. I just pulled it out of the blue to show you guys an example, trying to answer Julio's questions. And I'm starting to think we might have stumbled on a trade here. Yeah, once you look at this guy, I want to answer this. People talk about scalping. Now, you've got to take into account costs. That's the only thing. I mean, if you're scalping the NAS, for instance, you've got to stand, you've got to 10 to 40, it's a floating spread, so it's not there in special gauge again. So it says 10 on the spread, it's actually close to 14 in reality. So remember, if you lose 10, you lost 24. If you make 10, you lost 4, because it's 14 pip spread. So you've got to take that into account. So you've got to have luckily with the NAS, you've got a decent move in 100 pip range, but you get the point. So as long as you can cover that, that's fine. And you've got to be in front of the computer and you've got to be patient. And sometimes it's very slow. I prefer at this stage taking an overall view. I've tried most, including scalping, and I found scalping is best for those guys like prop trade who work for the company, so they don't have the costs involved. And then they can start taking 7, 8 pips and banking things very much. You can do 100 trades, doesn't matter. 200 trades, they've got a cost problem. Very unlikely. I'm going to be horribly honest with you on daily, highly unlikely. Day trade is the sexy one they flog on YouTube out there because it's sexy. People, when they sell dreams. You're not going to sell something so by that's going to be hard work and effort and study. You won't be able to give it away. No one's going to buy that because it's sexy. But yeah, but most beginners, if they're going to do day trading, yeah, they don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to think of diplomat. I'm being honest with you. Yeah, most day traders fail. It's the experienced ones can do it, but you need the capital, the understanding, experience, etc. As a beginner to try it, the odds are against you. Put it that way. I don't understand. It's a zero-sum game. So if you lose somebody's winning. Now I'm using a phone, and it's a cheap phone. I haven't got much capital and haven't got much knowledge, and I'm going against Mark there, who's got a large amount of capital, a large amount of experience. Been doing it 8 or 9 years, had a good track record behind him, and so he's got a lot of knowledge, he's got the right equipment, he's got a fair bit of capital. Who would you back out of the two of those people? You get my point. No, when I trade, we all trade to make money, obviously. There's no particular time. We're all looking for the holy grail of, is it 2 to 3 the best time, 4:30 the best time, American opening? There isn't one. There's buyers and sellers. Every time you go in, somebody thinks you're wrong. That's why they're doing the opposite. You need a counterparty. So if I want to sell something, somebody else wants to buy it off me, and vice versa. So there's no set area. You get better as you go along by understanding more. Experience, discipline, control, that sort of thing. Well, 24 hours a day, except for the weekend. Everyone's looking for, is there any quick, easy way out? No. Everyone's got their opinion. I tell you what, my friend, use a 21-day simple and the 42-day, exponential moving average when they cross. That's your answer. What's you're looking for? Doesn't exist. And people are naturally biased. I always use this, so I think it's the best. View always uses the 12, 25, and 50, and Bollinger Band and MACD thinks the best. Mark uses the stochastic relative strength indicator, the 50-day and the 150-day moving average, both exponential, and they think it's the best. You get my point. Where it's at is the price action and what the buyers and sellers are doing. At the moment, I think the sellers are going to come in here. I think there's a possibility of downside. There we are. I've given those reasons for it, and put a stop up here somewhere, maybe up just above there, take it down there. I think we've got a possibility of a trade here. That's why I have a stop loss and the right position in case we're wrong. Day trading usually means you're out the same day. A lot of guys trading indices like the Aussie 40, which we don't have, or the NAS, often out the same day. A lot of them hold on, but yeah, it's basically if you're in and out the same day. You don't carry it overnight. So you go and get up in the morning, do your trade. By the time you can close your computer for supper in the evening, go to bed or sleep or whatever, you're out. Okay. So I think it's a possibility on this one. See if anyone likes it. $63.40 for it. Absolutely, a large amount of people do. Don't know how many. There's so many retail trades in the world now. I think it's about 25, 30, maybe 40 million. I don't know. I don't know how many actually, of course, I don't know how many actually do, but a hell of a lot of people, yeah. A hell of a lot of people do it full time, yeah. I would say it's like a business. You want to become a doctor, you still got to do the studying, then you got to work. Before you go on your own, to open your own, you've got to have the capital to open it up. You've got to have enough clients to come through, and you've got to have that intern experience to go on your own sort of thing. So same sort of principle. Yeah, a lot of people do that. That's why I have stop loss TPs, etc. Yeah, and that's where the phone comes in for you. I think I just put it very well the other day. I know you're saying that as well. Keep it handy. I mean, you're in the meeting, you put it below the desk and quickly check whether you're going to modify or close, or just see somebody's coming with a new trade idea, just put it in there. They give you the risk anyway. So you know if it's 0.03, it says 300, that's your risk. It does it for you. 0.03, sell AUD, CHF, stop loss TP, press the sell button, you're in. Yes, it's a very soon meeting there, boss. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It takes 2 seconds. So I've got to quickly go to the loo. Off you go, bang, 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 and back again. That's where the phone comes in. In fact, Summers does a favor for the phone from that point of view. You're not staring at it all day, driving you insane. And then you check it maybe an hour later to see how it's going. In fact, that's one of the major problems with people doing it full time and not disciplined enough. They get bored and they say, God, there must be a trade there, and they start pushing one that's not there. But anyway, bottom line is I think it's a possibility here. It might pop up a bit. Let's look at the short term as well, very short term. Seem to be popping up a bit. You might get, who knows, but these are lower lows than the 15. Maybe try the hour. They use the 30Ks, not very much. Nothing wrong with it, just don't use it much. If anyone knows why, don't go to the 30 much. No particular reason. I think it's a possibility. Might get a bit of a better price. I don't know. I don't know. It's going to go up a little bit or down. I have no idea. But I think it's a possibility of this one here. Mark, you're not the only one because it's more fun. I've had I told that story about the QS. He nearly got fired because he's spending too much time staring at his trades rather than actually doing his job. Told me that as in fun. I don't think it's seriously going to get fired, but he said, "Yo, spending too much time on this. The boss is getting frustrated with me." I tell you what, a lot of people make more than that per day. But I'll tell you what, they've got the equipment, they've got the capital, they've got the knowledge. And remember, 28 grand a day on its own means nothing. If you've got 100 million in your account, 28 grand is not much. If you've got 100 grand in your account, you're overexposed. You'll come a cropper because you're going in too big. It's everything about consistency. Not saying I made 100 grand yesterday. Yeah, what did I do the day before? I won the casino last night. Should I give my job up and go to the casino? No. You get the point. And I hate to say it as well, Theo, is that true? A lot of people say a lot of things. It might be on their demo or they had a good day or whatever. You know, people tell about their winnings, like on Facebook, tell about their losses. Don't print on, this is me trading a whole sea of red, do they? Let's see that on Facebook. Yeah, well, if you've got 4 grand, 28 grand a day would be heaven. No. And you've got to master your land and discipline master beforehand. Okay, yeah, anyone like this trade? That's the bottom line. Nothing for nothing, Theo. That's the name of the game. Don't want to be cynical here, but I don't believe that person. Let me see his track record, see if he's averaged that per day. I'm prepared to say I don't believe him. There's a lot of BS when it comes to money. Trust me. You like it, okay? There we are. So should we put it down then? AUD CHF. Sell. 64.60, call it. 65.24. 63.40. EP, SLTP, and what is it? 120 bucks a micro. It's about $7, eh? So let's see. Let's have a look at that then. Wrong one. Beg your pardon? Wrong one. It just looks pretty on that too. Yeah, I think so, yeah. Stick with it. Right, Zeph. Sorry, just want to say, of course, absolutely. One of my friends asked me the other day, he knows Jason Noah. And Jason told me that if he gives him 500 grand, he will make it to 1,000 rand. Right, over what period? 20 years, 30 years? Possible, yeah. Very much, that's the problem, Anne-Marie. Absolutely. I'm not really rude to you, but I'll tell you, I will not rude, I'll be say this. I don't believe a word of that. No, people, when it comes to money, the BS is incredible. Yeah, he might have made it one day and he's sort of saying that. You know, I won the casino yesterday until I've lost it today and the day before. You know what I mean? No, consistently that. No, the kinds of money he's got to have and the experience he's got to have would be astronomical. I'm afraid to say, when people say that, I say, yeah, politely, because one ear out the other. Let's have a look at your Trek history. Does it back it up? You've been doing it for a year, divide your income every year, and divide that by 300, might be 200 trading days in a year, okay? And it comes to 28 grand. I beg your pardon, well bloody done. The brokerage is the spread. And to find out what the spread is, you go to AUD CHF. So AUD CHF. Click on specification. The spread is 3.5 pips. 3.5 pips is the spread. And that's the difference between the two. That's your cost is. 100 to 1, 5 to 1 is irrelevant. That's the leverage. Nothing to do with the cost. All that means leverage. People should understand all it means. The higher the leverage means the smaller deposit. It means you can go in with a bigger position, small amount of money. So, right, you can go in bigger. If you come right, you make more. If you don't come right, you blow your account. Simple as that. Yeah. Well, upset, we both know. We really best book that. We know it's BS. Here all the time, been here for a while. Yeah. And what has he told? Why has he told you for? Why isn't he behind a luxury yacht, you know, or Caribbean or wherever? That's exactly what happens, Marius. Yeah, exactly like the gamble, like I mentioned. Yeah, I used to know a guy many years ago. He used to be a high roller at the Sun City, and he'd stay there. His wife and family used to go up there. Everything was free. The room, the food, the drinks, everything was free. Because he was a high roller. And believe me, he lost far more than the cost. Yeah. He'd come back to his wife and celebrate when he won, but when he didn't say anything to his wife, etc. He lost his business in the end, he lost so much. In fact, they flew him up, he was in Cape Town, they flew him up, all free. And in the end, he had a successful multi-million-rand catalogue business. He lost a lot. Be careful. Yeah, I see a lot of those as well, where the TP is, let's say, 10 and the stop loss is 15. Hits the TP and they call it the winning trade. Yeah, but hang on. Yeah. Yeah, but when you're in the blue, you're in the blue. If I go in now and buy this, I'm immediately in a slight loss because I get out of that. So in this case, comes to, if I'm going long, this gets to 64.7, I'm breaking even. Gets to 65, and it gives me, let's say, 2 rand. That's my blue, as that's mine. If you're on a commission account, that's different because the commissions are where you've got to overcome those commissions clearly. So it's cost you 10 rand. You've got to obviously make 11 to get the blue. But on the spreads, all you do is you see you go in at red, and once the sell gets up the buy, or the buy comes down to sell, we're going long or short, and you see the blue, that's your profit. This is it, yeah. Can you make 5,000 a day? Well, yeah. And then say how much you got? 10,000. Well, then do the math. 50% a day. Well, this seems to be moving. That's moving, so I don't think so. Don't think so. Yeah, again, you can say, yeah, I had surgeons and lawyers make a lot of money. The ones and the partners do, yeah. A lot of guys can't find a job as a lawyer. Associates, they've got to do this trading, it's not very well paid until they get there, yeah. This all comes back to if I take up tennis, look the money that Djokovic earns. Yeah, well, you know, one of them does. What about the guys number 500 in the world? They can hardly afford to, they're on the plane cost to get to the tournament, never mind the accommodation. Sluggish, yeah. I thought you'd be facetious, yeah, sluggish. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Okay, it's coming up to closing time. I'm just going to give the levels, so give me a second. So they're going to send it to the VIP group. Doesn't matter what group you're on here, you can see, you can take it if you like. The guys are not on here, the VIP group. Yeah, guys with 2.5 grand or more. Okay, if you've got 2.5 grand or more, you're not part of my group. Hang on, fine, I'll put my number on just now for the chat line. Just going to get this out first. Risk is 0.01. 120 and 224. Okay, sorry about that. Just a couple of moments. All right, we'll get back to 0.01. I prefer that default, and I can work it out accordingly. Okay. Right, just a quick catch up before we do. Oh, yes, we'll put a number on there to be part of the group. It's Roger. Trading support. Okay, there you are. Okay, cheers, mate. Great to have you back, Ken. Great to have you back. I mean that, as you probably gathered. There's another one we talked about the other day, Marius, is discipline. You know about that. Yeah, it's a discipline. If you had a phenomenal day, you want to continue until you put it all back again. Then you're playing on emotions. It's difficult for you. Who is Mr. H? And let's talk about Hans van Pletsen. That's sort of call him H or Mr. H. Hans van Pletsen, he's the CEO. NZTCH. What's gold doing? Coming off a little bit, but anyway, you're protected. Dollar index has bounced a little bit of profit taking, I think. So that's the reason. NZDCHF trying to come off, Trying to come off, Anne-Marie and Company. It's trying to come off. So let's keep our fingers crossed. US dollar, Swiss franc. That was one we got out this morning. It's about even Steven. Say 2-3 pips in profit, but that's not really a big deal. I'd rather 2-3 in profit than 2-3 in red anyway. I think it's boring view, but unfortunately it's right. Yeah. Have a blue day. Yeah, Isabel, I like it. Have a blue day, yeah. Blue, blue, my world is blue. So in this case, it's a positive. Okay, guys. Yeah, I hope it's been some information. We did manage to get a couple of trades. I just hope they work out okay. We'll check again the US opening later on today. I'll check some of those shares are still in or whatever. Look at Coca-Cola if possible. And but even so, we didn't get any trades or much else out. Some of the ideas discussed and shared amongst all of us, I hope it obviously made some, well, it had some value for you. Okay, yeah, so I'll catch you later on. Cheers, hey, thanks, bye. That's exactly like his Morris. That often use golf. In fact, I use golf all the time as an example. That's exactly the same mentality. That's why it's such a good example as golf. You bird the last hole, you're overconfident the next one, you bogeyed it with your lack of confidence on the next one. The pros just manage to blot it out. It takes a lot of discipline. That's what makes them pros, I suppose. Thank you, Fiona. Please stick with us. Remember, this is not, I'll do one lesson, now I know. It's an ongoing process. And don't forget, I'm doing for a while, but I learned from you as well. So yeah, we're trying to make it a family community. Trying to actually, I hope I'm not harsh here, trying to cut some of the BS out and trying to learn as it is. It sounds harsh when you're first learning it, because you go, oh my God, it's a bit better to do it rather than that and continue with it. You're going to get become a doctor after 3 weeks. No, you're not. But if we can catch some of the BS and work together, hopefully it'll start paying off. Made a difference to my life. Trading has, and I hope, I hope to goodness you get the real McCoy here that you can make a bit of a difference to you. And you're going to get bad days. I'm so sorry when it happens, but it just happens. Okay, fantastic. Catch you later. Absolutely, Zeph. Absolutely. The ones that are still not learning, the ones that complain the most, because they're